Oh, hi guys, we are watching horror stories. It's night, so it's perfect time. Let's go.
My name is Jessica.
Okay,
5
Jessica.
years ago, when I was
Okay.
12 years old, something
Okay, blah
happened
blah blah.
that changed my family's life forever. To this day, no one has found an answer. It started out at my aunt's house. We were all invited over. Their
Oh hey,
old, sprawling home sat in one of the city's oldest neighborhoods. It was a two-story house with a large backyard, countless
large.
rooms, and a dark
I mean large,
basement
large.
that none of the kids dared to enter. The house
Why?
smelled of old wood and dampness. The
Oh,
windows
that's
were always
stinky.
half open, and the curtains kept the rooms dim even during the day. All of the adults were gathered in the living room, drinking tea, eating fruit, and chatting. The kids were
Fruit.
free to
Banana
do
is
whatever
good.
we wanted.
Fruit.
My aunt's daughter,
Strawberry is good
Angela,
fruit
and my
too.
uncle's daughter,
I
Alice,
love
were
strawberry
both
and
8 years
banana
old
so
and
much.
completely obsessed with hide and seek.
I love
They
spicy
started
food.
playing
My
right after
favorite food
lunch.
is
At
spicy
first,
food.
Alice hid while Angela searched. Angela was surprisingly good at finding people, and every time Alice thought she found the perfect hiding spot, Angela would discover her within minutes. Eventually, it was Angela's turn to
He's
hide. Before running off, she laughed and told Alice.
This time, you won't find me.
Alice closed her eyes and
Let's
began
see
counting
about
to
that.
30. The moment she started
I
counting,
forgot
Angela
the
ran out of the room.
names.
I was
What is
sitting
the
on the
name,
couch watching a
bro?
movie, but every now and then, I glanced over at them. 30 seconds passed. Alice opened her eyes and started searching. She checked the living room, the kitchen, the bedrooms, the closets, and then she went upstairs. I could hear her footsteps echoing across the old wooden floorboards. Every few minutes, she would shout,
Angela, I found you.
but no answer ever came. 30 minutes passed. Alice finally came downstairs. Her face was red and she was sweating. She walked up to Angela's
What
mom
happened, bro?
and said in a shaky voice,
Mom, I can't find Angela. I looked everywhere.
Angela's mother laughed. The adults were still busy talking and didn't think much of it. Another 30 minutes passed. Alice was starting to cry. Now some of the adults got up to help. They opened every door,
Where
looked under
is
beds, checked
she?
closets, searched the backyard, the garage, everywhere. There was no sign of Angela. Then it was time for everyone to leave. Angela's father stood up and called out loudly, Angela, sweetheart, come out. We're leaving now. The house fell silent. No answer.
Okay.
That was the
Where
moment
did
everyone
she
realized
go?
something was
Where
seriously
the fuck
wrong.
did she go?
The search became frantic. Every room was checked again. Every closet, every cabinet, every possible hiding place. They even unlocked and searched the basement, a place that was normally off limits. Nothing. No sounds, no footprints, no toys, no clothing, no sign that Angela had ever been there. The police were called. Tracking dogs were brought in. They searched the entire neighborhood. Officers combed
Okay,
through
what the
nearby
heck?
streets, yards,
What
and
the heck,
abandoned
bro?
buildings. Local
Really?
news stations even covered the disappearance, but
Hey,
no clues
you?
were ever found. It was as if Angela had
They
simply
didn't
vanished
find
the moment she
Angela?
went to hide. 5 years have passed.
Oh,
Angela
hey,
is still
yo,
missing.
5 years?
Sometimes I dream about her. In those dreams, I hear her voice calling to me from somewhere dark, a closet, the basement, sometimes from behind a closed door. She always says the same thing,
Find me.
but whenever I reach her and pull the door open, I only see a shadow, and then it fades away. Alice barely
Bro,
speaks anymore. Angela's mother still bakes a birthday cake every year and lights candles for her daughter. She never misses a birthday.
that's so
My
sad.
aunt's house has never
That's
felt the
creepy
same
and
since
sad
that day.
at
Most
the
people
same
simply
time,
refer to
bro.
it as the incident. But those of us who were there know something about that day felt terribly wrong. Sometimes I catch
Okay.
myself wondering if Angela was never really found because she never left. Maybe she's still hiding somewhere inside that old house.
Okay.
And maybe she doesn't
Hey,
want
yo.
to be found anymore.
Hey, yo. That's scary. Even though I
Hello,
am a
Watsy.
demon.
I've always loved scary stories, but I never imagined I would experience something like that myself. It happened about 12 months ago. and just thinking about it gives me goosebumps. That day was like any other. At least that's what I thought at the time. My parents
Okay.
and older brothers had gone to work,
I'm a demon, but
and I was home with
this
my
is
two
way
younger
scarier
sisters.
than
They
me,
were
even
playing with
though I'm a
toys in another
demon.
room. I was comfortably immersed
This
in the
is a
chilling atmosphere,
spirit
watching your horror videos,
plus
when I suddenly
demon.
heard something. It was a whisper. It was faint, but I could hear it clearly.
That's an evil
Come
spirit.
here.
That's an evil
Come
spirit.
At
But
first,
I'm a
I
demon.
thought I'd misheard. Then I heard the sound again. Soft, almost broken. It sounded like the voice of someone who hadn't spoken for a long time. My sisters didn't notice anything. They continued playing as if nothing had happened. But I jumped up, my heart pounding, and went upstairs. Our kitchen was upstairs. The moment I stepped onto the last step, I heard the sound of something being chewed. It was a very loud
Hey
sound.
yo,
And then I saw her. A woman. No,
hey
she
yo,
was
human meat.
closer to a shadow than a woman.
Is that a cow meat or a
Reduced
human
to
meat?
nothing but bones covered her face. She stood in front of an open refrigerator, eating raw meat with her bare hands. Blood was dripping from her mouth, and she turned around and looked at me. Her
Oh,
eyes
heck
were
no.
cold, hazy blue, as if they'd seen too much. Blood stained her lips, and she wore a chilling smile. It was a twisted, terrifying smile.
Hey yo,
I screamed. I slammed the kitchen door shut and ran downstairs. My siblings ran toward me crying. And then everything went dark. I lost consciousness. Our
what the
neighbor
fuck
heard the
happened,
scream
bro?
and ran into the house. He saw the woman too. She was staring at us with a knife in her hand, her mouth still covered in blood. The police arrived soon, and she was arrested. We later found out she was a mentally unstable homeless person who had entered through an unlocked door while we were distracted. I was so engrossed in scary stories that I didn't even realize someone had
Ayo.
broken into the house.
Hey yo,
But what was the most horrific
hey
part?
yo.
Even now, when I close my eyes, that woman comes to mind. That face, those empty eyes, that blood-stained smile.
This
Okay,
happened one
that's
summer, about 2
scarier than
years
a
ago.
demon.
I had just graduated
Sis.
from college, and I was on my way to a friend's place to drink and party. As I drove along the highway, the sky grew dark before I realized it, so I pressed it down on the gas, hoping to get there faster. At the same time, I was buzzing with excitement, thinking about all the fun my friend and I were going to have that night. Before I knew it, the moonlight was illuminating the road, and dense
Okay.
forest stretched out on both sides. There were
Okay.
hardly any cars around. When I saw a sign for a rest area, I decided to pull in and grab a quick snack. The moment I stepped out of my car, something caught my eye. A man was standing nearby, staring
Oh,
at
heck
me.
no.
I froze for a second, but tried my best to act casual. He stood in a dark corner,
Oh,
his
heck
face
no.
hidden behind thick,
Oh,
black
heck no.
hair. In his hand, he held something that looked like a metal pipe. He lifted it to his mouth like a microphone and began humming a strange tune I couldn't quite make out.
Is
Assuming
that
he
a
was just
horror
some
singer?
weirdo, I hurried past him and headed toward the
Bro.
convenience store.
Just
Even
run.
after I reached the entrance and glanced back, he was still standing there, watching me. As I entered the
That's a
store, I noticed
singer
the clerk
killer.
was nowhere to be seen. Instead, I could hear someone humming softly, somewhere between the
Oh,
aisles.
heck
By
no.
that point, I knew something felt wrong. I quickly grabbed an energy drink and headed for the exit. Then, a loud bang slammed against the glass door behind me. I spun around. The man from outside was opening the door and stepping into the store.
Oh,
Under the bright lights, I could finally see him clearly. He was tall, and his hands were covered in scars.
oh, what the
Slowly,
hell,
he
bro?
started walking toward me,
Oh, heck no.
gripping the metal
Bro,
pipe.
just run.
Then he spoke. "Your screams will make our song complete. We needed another instrument, and then you showed up." As he stared at me, his eyes moved up and down my body, sizing me up. And as they did, his humming grew louder. The clerk was still nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, the person hidden somewhere between the shelves continued humming as well. The two sounds blended together in a disturbingly perfect harmony. My heart nearly stopped. Then it began pounding so hard, I could hear it in my ears.
I'm gonna have
The
a
man's
nightmare after
footsteps
this,
seemed
bro.
almost rhythmic, like he was moving to the beat of some invisible song.
Should I stop
Then he
this
pulled out his
video,
phone.
bro? This
He
is
tapped
too
something on
scary.
the screen and held it up for me to see. A voice recorder app was running. Next, he set the phone down on a nearby shelf. Then he gripped the metal pipe with both hands and
Oh,
took a
just run,
stance
bro.
like he was preparing
hell
to
no.
swing it.
Oh,
At
hell
that
no.
moment, the air seemed to freeze. I ran. I bolted for the door and sprinted out of the store. Seconds later, he came charging after me. I jumped into my car, started the engine, and slammed my foot on the gas pedal. As I sped away, I saw him climb into a truck that had been parked in a
Oh,
dark
no.
corner of the lot. Then he came after me.
Oh
The
no.
truck raced onto the highway
Oh
behind
no.
me.
Oh no.
As he
Oh
drove,
no.
he leaned his head out the driver's side window and screamed in an impossibly high-pitched voice. My hands shook violently on the steering wheel, but I kept driving as fast as I could. Eventually, the truck grew smaller and smaller in my rearview mirror. Then it disappeared completely. It took a long time for the shaking.
Let me check. Bye. My parents are here. Or let me.
Stop.
Okay, my
The
parents
entire
are not
drive
here,
afterward
so let's
felt
watch.
Unreal. Thoughts poured through my head non-stop. The strangest part was that I never
Oh.
saw a single employee in that store. I still don't know whether the person humming between the shelves was actually a clerk or someone else entirely. It was well past midnight when I finally arrived at my friend's house, still shaken and half dazed. I told him everything that happened. He was horrified. He told me I should call the police immediately, but by then, I felt like it was already too late. Since that night, the man has appeared in my dreams from time to time. In those dreams, he always catches me, and he always beats me. I wake up every time, fighting the urge to scream, and the tune he was humming, it never really left me. Even now,
Oh,
I can still hear
that's
it
so
playing
bad.
over and over in my head, like a song that refuses to end,
Wait.
or someone else.
So, bye. The video ends here. We forgot Demon's birthday. Okay. I think it's it for today. Bye.
Entirely. It was well past midnight when